Runes will print millionaires. In this video, I'm going to break down some of the strategies that you can use to take advantage of this once in a lifetime opportunity. Now, while it will make millionaires, a lot of people will also lose money. So this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research before moving on this. It's very new, it's very speculative, and a lot of people will get wrecked. Also down below, there are chapters. So if you don't care about runes and you just want to get to the strategies, use them down below. That'll help you out. So what are runes? Basically, they add more fungibility to a fungible token. Think of it like a BRC20, but you can actually buy the amount that you want. Now, this is a little bit confusing, so let me break it down like this. So you're on Bitcoin and you want to buy this cool altcoin, meme coin, whatever you want to call it, which is called Dogecoin. Now, you want to just buy one. Well, you can't buy one. You can only buy the amount that is being packaged up by the seller. So this seller is selling 2, and this seller is selling 4. Actually, let's make it 5. This seller is selling 5. Now, you want to buy one of these coins. This seller is selling this for 2 coins. This seller is selling 5 for 3. This is a better deal. If you had enough to buy one, you'd want to buy this, but you can't. You can only buy what is packaged up. Well, what Runes does is it basically lets everything split up so there is more fungibility, more divisibility, more liquidity. So if you actually want to just buy one of this guy's stack, you can easily buy it without having to buy this guy's stack. Now, I know that the technical guys will get up me about the words that I've used, but that's basically the simplest term. It allows coins to be sold in divisible forms or by themselves. It then means that you can then buy or sell as many as you want without having to worry about what people are actually selling, because right now, the coins that are being sold BRC20s when they are being exchanged on chain are more like NFTs than FTs. So they're more like a package group of sort of JPEGs that don't actually have JPEGs attached, that you're actually buying a package of instead of just buying a singular coin. This also means that a seller that wants to sell 1, 2, 3, or 1,000 can sell more at a lower price because it's easier. Because right now, if you hold 1,000 of a coin, you would need to make 1,000 singular sales to then sell them at different price points or to get people to actually buy them. Or if you want to sell them in bulk, you then need someone that has the liquidity. It just doesn't work. So Runes solves this issue. Hey, I just want to pause real quick and say a big shout out to Chris Coffey, link up here. His video is kind of an inspiration for me to actually make this video because he kind of gassed me up, got me excited. I actually want to make one myself, add my little take to it and my little spin to it. So yeah, definitely go check out his video, check out his content. Absolutely boss dude. I like what he does. Anyway, let's kick on with the video. Now, why is this going to become the opportunity of a lifetime and a land grab for people that want to take part in it? Well, basically right now, because everyone is leaning up to Runes, up to this, there isn't the tech that's built out. There is just the speculation and the hype around it. You can see this on Magic Eden with the pre-Runes tab. A lot of people are speculating about what Runes are going to be and how it's going to operate. So what you're then left with is anyone that spends a little bit of time, effort, or energy to get these coins early should have, and I say should because it's not a guarantee, should have a chance to run this up. Because when you look at the sub 1,000 inscriptions on Ordinals, the sub 10,000, sub 100,000, a lot of these go for lots of money, but it took a lot of time for them to become worth a lot of money. Some of these, the first 10 coins that are dropped, the people that are able to get these and hold these in a year's, 2's, 10 years time, they might be worth more because of the provenance of the fact that they launched on the day that the protocol launched. Now, how much upside can there be and why am I confident and a lot of people confident that this is going to be the opportunity of a lifetime and a land grab? If we have a look at the meme coins in CoinMarketCap, you can see some insane market caps. Doge 22 billion, Shiba 13 billion, but then when we get down to the coins that are on chains, you've got Dog with Hat at 2.7 billion, Pepe 2.2. So you've got Solana and Ethereum with $2 billion market caps. And then when you scroll down, Bonk at $1 billion, Book of Meme at almost 500 million, and then Brett, which is actually on Base, which is a layer 2, has a $500 million market cap. Now, this is still speculation, but a lot of the coins that will be being dropped will just be available for free. The people that are able to essentially mint them or get them for free, same thing with CryptoPunks, will just be able to have these coins. So there will be a lot of coins that are just distributed for free or virtually free. You just need to pay a transaction fee. You will then be able to scoop them up. And this is the thesis that kind of runs forward. What happens if you could have got sort of 1 million Doge, 1 million Sheep, 1 million Dog with Hat, 1 million Pepe, 1 million Flocky, 1 million Bonk? You just got all of these as they first came out for virtually nothing, and then you held them and rode them up. The first coins that come out will have some provenance. A lot of them will run to zero, but the idea here is that if you are set up in a position to actually get some of these coins, then when the bad ones filter out, the good ones will rise to the top. You're not going to hit home runs on every every single one, but if you get one of them that is a 1000x out of 20 or 30, you're still in a better spot. And the fact that right now there's a very high barrier to entry and not a lot of attention on it means that this is where the arbitrage and opportunity lies. Not instantly, not right away. You're not going to make $1 million overnight, but what will happen is over time. Now, before I get into the strategies, I need to touch on the cycle of what will most likely happen. Looking at Ordinals, what you can see is that there was a lot of hype when they first dropped. January, February, March, there was a lot of hype, a lot of attention, a lot of action around Ordinals. This is in 2023. Then it died off. A lot of the people that stuck around were able to get into some of these collections, build different relationships so they could then get an OMB and start stacking up that bag, and then some of these other blue chip collections. What I think will happen is we'll see a frenzy for 1, 2, 3 months. We will then see it die off, but we will then see it come back when the tech, the infrastructure, and the attention floods back into it. Now, this is where you get to the different strategies that you can then take part. Now, the first and most easiest strategy is to buy an ordinal that gets you access to the runes. So if you go into the pre-runes tab of Magic Eden, you can see all the pre-runes here. Now, personally, I have exposure to Little Vikings. I've got exposure to Pups because I got that airdropped. I then have exposure to Moon because of an NFT that I hold. I've got exposure to a few other mining Genesis miner things that are just kind of were airdropped, and I've got them. I don't know if they'll actually turn into something, but I do have some exposure to them. Will I sell in the hype leading up to it? Will I sell afterwards? I'm not sure, but that is the first, simplest and easiest way. It does require some capital, and it does require the stomach of what can happen when things go live and there are sort of technical hiccups, mistakes, and all of that, because it will be a scary time. Now, the next one, which is a very high barrier to entry, is setting up your own node to snipe some of these coins when they actually drop. When they first drop, there will be tools available, but everyone will be using these tools, so the websites might go down, making it hard to inscribe them, to get them, mint them, and actually just sort of gather up as many coins as you can. What you can then do is you can set up a node. Now, this is a very high barrier to entry. It's a lot of friction, but this will then help you get, it'll put you in a better spot to actually snap up everything that then drops. What you can then do is mint essentially all of these for free, well, sort of gas, etc. You could then hold onto these and then sort of sell them into the pump and then reaccumulate later on, or whatever you'd like, because there will be one or two that run up to that 1, 2, 3, 4, $5 billion market cap almost instantly, and you will be able to get a chance to get some exit liquidity because you were first, because a lot of people didn't want to set up a node. Now, this is hard. I'm currently setting up my node. I know a couple of people that are setting up nodes because they want to be in a better spot. They don't want to rely on free tools. They don't want to rely on any tools. They want to rely on their own hardware to actually have a go. The other strategy that you can then take, it isn't the sexy strategy, it isn't the fast strategy, but I think it's a strategy that will work out for a lot of people that are patient. This will be waiting the 3, 4, 5 months for the lull to die down. See what strength happens with particular coins, see what communities rally around coins, and when there is the inevitable 90% pullback, you can then start to DCA and accumulate. Because if you have a look at something like Dog with Hat, you had this meteoric rise, it then had a lull, and then it just absolutely shot and rocketed up. When you have a look at something like Pepe, ran up, consolidated, pulled back, and then shot back up. Now, this isn't a guarantee that everything will shoot up and rocket back up. When attention comes back to runes, if you are well positioned, you will be able to run these up. Now, me personally, what am I doing? I'm trying to set up my node, work out how I can actually use all the software so I can kind of get my hand on some of those first runes that drop and just accumulate as much as I can and almost lock them away, forget about them, and then see what ends up happening. I might not be able to get my node set up, I might not be available, lots of things can happen. I will then also try to use some of the tools if they are available, just because if I do mess it up myself, I want to have a backup plan there. But longer term, what I plan on doing is seeing the rise of what's actually happening in the market themselves, see what coins have the most strength, not get caught on the FOMO of that initial pump, knowing that there will be some cool off eventually. I would rather take a solid 10 or 20x than try to shoot for that 1000x, because that 1000x will get me wrecked every time. Watch the pullback, see what communities rally around their coin, and then slowly DCA, slowly accumulate. So when we see that inevitable run back up, we're good. Position myself in around 5 or 10 strong coins and then go from there, because there will also be those fun, cool moonshot coins that come out when we are in that lull period, when people understand what they can actually do with the coins and how it actually works. Now, another curveball that can get thrown into this is the fact that we may see some listings on exchanges quite fast, because if there is millions of dollars worth of transaction and activity, you can see the likes of a Binance, OKX, KuCoin, etc. wanting to pick these up. We have seen this with Ordi, which is a BRC20 being picked up on exchanges, which means that there is a chance that the exchanges will want to get their greedy hands on the transaction fees of them. So I can see that happening quite fast. Now, yes, at the start, I said it's the opportunity of a lifetime. I said that it's going to make millionaires. The reason that I wanted to stress this is that when Ordinals first started, nothing had been done like this on Bitcoin, and the old school Bitcoiners hated it. Everyone on Ethereum, Solana thought it was dumb because transactions were slow, it didn't work. Everyone passed off and faded it. And then over time, it started to build up its own subculture and just absolutely ripped. And I've had a lot of fun trading Ordinals. I've made a lot of money off Ordinals. Ordinals have done me very well, and it's going to be the same thing with runes. Runes are going to be seen as a lot of fun and excitement. Then everyone is going to shout from the rooftops when the volume slows down. There are rug pull scams, whatever they are, and then people pull back, people die off, people forget about them, people move to another chain, they trade on Solana, Base, etc. Then what will happen is you'll then have this core group of people that will trade, there will be some action, and then you will see a $5–10 billion market cap rune that comes out that you could have gotten in on the ground floor, that'll most likely be free, that'll most likely be an airdrop, that'll most likely be there because you were in these groups and communities. So even if you don't have liquid, you can't set up a node, you can't get any pre-runes, you don't have anything at all, just being in the communities, starting to have a look at what people are saying on the timeline, following some people, don't need to dedicate full time to this, just a little bit, consuming it, you will then start to know what's coming up, which will then put you in a position to hopefully get into a spot so that if you do have any capital, you can deploy it and end up making those life-changing gains. I do believe that we will look back on runes in 3 or 4 years' time like this was a gold rush, but in the moment, it won't seem like a gold rush. It'll seem like a Ponzi scheme. It'll seem chaotic. It'll seem crazy. It'll seem gross. We saw the same thing with Ordinals. History doesn't repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes. So hopefully I'm able to express what I'm doing with the runes, why I think runes is a very good play, and all of that. Now, hopefully you enjoyed this video, all of that good stuff. Hopefully you make an absolute bag with runes. And look, I can't wait to see the comments in 2, 3, 4 years time when people have made generational wealth because they position themselves accordingly. I had a pleasure making this video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.